I'm Joanna Small, the Public Information Officer for the Commerce City Police Department. It's Monday, March 31st, and these are your weekend high or low lights, depending on how you look at it. This is essentially our video blotter where we give you a rundown of the most significant incidents your CCPD patrol officers responded to over the weekend. But we always like to start these off with a few fast facts. We answered 345 calls for service and made 94 traffic stops just on Saturday and Sunday. Now here are those highlights in chronological order. Overnight into Friday, an observant CCPD patrol officer was on routine patrol in the area of East 64th and Olive Street when he saw a vehicle without a license plate. He attempted a traffic stop, but the vehicle did elude him at that time. Later in the shift, officers spotted the same vehicle and were successfully able to deploy stop sticks, a tire deflation device, underneath it. It took off again, but was located abandoned at Sand Creek Drive North and Magnolia Street. The vehicle is suspected to be an unreported steal. That's some excellent work, patrol. Overnight Friday into Saturday, another observant CCPD patrol officer was driving on East 104th when he witnessed a vehicle run off the roadway and crash into a light pole at 104th and Walden. Our officer contacted the driver, who had an open container of alcohol in the vehicle. The driver failed field sobriety tests, and his blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit to operate a motor vehicle. He was arrested for DUI and faces additional charges for careless driving, driving without a license, driving without insurance, and having an open container of alcohol. His vehicle was impounded. That same shift of officers made 2 other DUI arrests that night as well. Overnight Friday into Saturday, officers responded to a disturbance in progress involving weapons in the 8200 block of Pontiac Street. The reporting party told us people inside 2 vehicles parked in front of their home started shooting at each other. When officers arrived on scene, the suspects were gone, but we did recover a shell casing nearby. We fortunately did not locate any damage to homes or property in the area. Again, overnight Friday into Saturday, officers were sent to a shots fired call in the 12,000 block of Joplin Street. Multiple people called 911 to report 10 to 15 shots heard. We cleared a residence which was being used as an Airbnb. The people inside claimed to have heard the shots but not been involved. There were reports that someone had been shot, but no evidence of that. We recovered more than a dozen shell casings around the residence and sent out alerts to local hospitals to notify us if any gunshot wound victims arrive for treatment. This is still an ongoing investigation. On Saturday, officers responded to the 7,000 block of East 88th for what was at first just reported as a vehicle crashed into a fence. When we arrived, we learned one vehicle was following another after the people in the vehicle that crashed had attempted to forcibly take the title of a car being sold on Facebook Marketplace at gunpoint. The victim of that robbery was in the vehicle doing the chasing. The suspects in the vehicle that smashed into the fence fled on foot, but CCPD patrol officers got there quickly and set up a perimeter. Using drones and with the help of the Adams County Sheriff's Office tracking canines, they located all 3 suspects hiding in a vehicle at a nearby motel and took them into custody without further incident. They were turned over to the Sheriff's Office because the crime occurred in their jurisdiction. Great, fast work, patrol. That same shift of officers Saturday also responded to a stabbing in the 6,000 block of Parkway Drive, in which the suspect was immediately taken into custody. We learned an altercation had occurred between 2 transient males and the suspect was bitten by the victim's dog. In retaliation, the suspect stabbed the victim with a knife. The suspect was arrested nearby without incident and still had the knife on his person. The victim was transported to the hospital with unknown injuries, but he was alert at the time. The suspect is facing second-degree assault with a weapon charges. And finally, overnight Sunday into Monday, officers responded to a motor vehicle theft in the 5800 block of East 65th Way. The reporting party told us their vehicle was stolen right out of their driveway, and they tracked it themselves to a motel in Denver. When they approached the vehicle, they said people inside it got out and pointed firearms at them. We were unable to locate any video footage of the original theft from the driveway and advised Denver police of the attempted recovery and the incident that occurred in their jurisdiction. Always call us first before approaching your stolen vehicle. No piece of property is more valuable than your safety, or especially your life. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Have a safer week, Commerce City, and remember, if you need us, we are always just minutes away.